world, it's Paul again, and today's video is going to be about another British micro that hopefully some of you haven't seen before, and this is the first time I've ever actually got my hands on one. So I recently picked up this Amstrad 6128 Plus. Now you know it's not CPC, it's the 6128 Plus. This contains all of the same hardware as the ill-fated GX4000 console. It runs cartridges, it's got a whole bunch of connectivity on the back, it's got the wonderful 3-inch floppy, or was it 3.25? I can't remember, 3-inch floppy, those tiny horrible things. So we're going to have about a 10-minute dive into this machine, look at some of the Plus enhanced games, look at some of the really cool Amstrad games that you might have missed if you've had a brief look at the machine. Now I'm still really early on in my journey with this machine, so I'm still learning a lot. So let's get started. Oh, that was a bit of a loud bang, dude. So, the Amstrad CPC 6128 Plus launched in 1990 at a price of £429. Now, that did come with a monitor, so it kind of counterbalances the cost a little bit. But when you consider that this was 3 years after the launch of the Amiga 500, which launched in 1987 at a price of about £400, so it's really easy to work out why the Amstrad Plus range of machines was such a failure. So let's have a look at what we've got. I managed to pick this up boxed. I got this from a friend over on the RMC Discord for a steal. I won't say what I got it for because it will probably make some people cry. But at that price, it was worth picking up because these are not only unicorn poop, but they normally go for silly money, and this was reasonable. So while we're having a quick tour around the machine, let's brush over some of the loose specs for this thing. So at the heart of it, we've got the Z80 CPU clocking in at 4 MHz, as opposed to the Specky, which ran at 3.5 MHz. So you'll find that the Amstrad runs a little bit faster, allegedly. And then for sound, we've got the AY38912 as used in the Specky 128 and Plus range, MSX, Intellivision, Vector-X, and a variant of which was used in the Atari ST. Video-wise, we've got the Motorola 6845 display controller, which, as I recently found out, is the same as the BBC Micro, which might explain why some of the games on the Amstrad look remarkably similar to the BBC Micro versions. So what makes the Plus range so special? Well, in addition to all the same gubbins that you get in the CPC range, they've enhanced it so that now the Plus hardware increases the palette to 4096 colours, and it also added hardware sprite capability, which basically gave it a little bit more of an edge. This machine is the bigger brother of the 464 Plus, which is basically exactly the same machine, but it only comes with 64K of RAM and it has a tape drive in it instead of a disk drive. But basically they are the same machine. So as the other Amstrad machines, let's see if I can get that in shot there, we need to connect the video input and the power, which comes from the monitor. So basically you plug the monitor in, and that's quite similar to some of the CPC range as well. Let's power up. Now some of you know what's going to happen here. Well, that's not great, is it? Now the reason for that is you need this thing. Now this is the classic burning rubber cartridge. Future Paul here, just a quick note on the cartridge thing. So this isn't actually the standard burning rubber cartridge that comes with the GX4000. The GX4000 version is the red top cartridge and only actually contains just the game. The yellow top version for the Amstrad Plus range contains the Locomotive Basic and the game. There are two other variants. There's a green top one and a blue top one, and as far as I can tell they are just localized versions of the same cartridge. The best you can hope for if you don't have this is that you have some other cartridge games that you can play in the meantime while you're hunting on eBay for a Locomotive and burning rubber cartridge. Switch it on and boom, that's where it gets its operating system from. Now interestingly with this game you've got two control buttons on the controller, as you can see there. Yoink! But you still have to press up to accelerate, which seems like a massive fail for me, but there you go. So we'll play this a little bit. And it's a standard racing game. It's not a bad one to get free with your system, to be honest with you. I mean, don't forget, back in the day we wouldn't have had access to like thousands of tapes online and thousands of disc images. That's just like driving in real life. There we go. So anyway, that's burning rubber. Now, if you have other cartridges, which I've got some, it will just boot straight into those cartridges as well, but you can't do much without a cartridge. Now we think these might have been shop demos, because as you can see they've got type labels. This is Batman. This is actually quite good. I played this on the Amiga all the way through to the end, and this is not a bad version of it, to be honest with you. So come on, there we go, and we've got a white one coming. Yay! Whoa, 10,000 points! Woo! And I've completed the level. This is a fighting game. I've only actually ever played this for the first time today, so let's have a look. Okay, oh dear. Oh dear, this is not good. Right. So I'm running short on time here, so I am going to cut it a bit short and just show off some of the more modern homebrew stuff that's coming out for this machine or in development. And then I'll chuck in a couple of the old games at the end that I actually still quite like. But let's kick this off with Pinball Dreams. Now this came out a couple of years ago and really shows what this machine can do. Now I won't play all of these, you can go and download this and check it out yourself, but all of the tables are here. Let's have a crack at Nightmare. Now this is Sonic the Hedgehog. This will need Plus hardware to run and it's absolutely incredible. There's no preview build available, so I've had to grab footage from the developer's website that you can see the link for there. I hope they don't mind, but I really wanted to show this off because it's absolutely amazing that you could get this kind of game running on an Amstrad. Now obviously this is Ghosts and Goblins, and yes, this is running on real hardware. Okay, this footage was captured on emulation because I don't have this on cartridge yet. This is a preview build, so it's not finished. It has been in development for quite a while. Words fail me. Have a look. Right, I think this is going to have to wrap it up. So I'm going to blitz through a few original CPC games, some modern homebrew stuff. Just going to stop yakking. Have a look at these. They're amazing. cutscene like you do in the 16-bit versions. Look at that. And the classic water sample. That was one of the greatest things about Rick Dangerous. There we go. This is my copy of Turtles. Or Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, as it was called over here in the UK, because apparently Ninja was way too violent for us British children back in the day. So this is a fairly mediocre game. I think a lot of us got ripped off with this in NES, the Amiga, I think a bunch of machines. It's okay. It's not great, but you know, as a demo piece for the machine showing off the graphics and colours, it's not bad. Shredder wants you to type in a code. I would have thought Shredder would have been happy with you pirating some of these games. So let's find our code sheet buried somewhere in this manual. Oh, God. Look at this. Look at this. Boop. Right. Oh man, I can't even read that. That is crazy. Okay, I even had to crack out, because of my failing eyesight, the magnifying glass. That's ridiculous. Donatello. There we go. Smack. What? Just what the f is that? We've got everything in here. Jesus. I think April can just like. Yeah, she can stuff it. I'm running away.